rights activists and enthusiasts in the business world have blamed the slow nature of Nigeria's judicial system for the serious and widespread violations in the country. The reports were put forward at the workshop organized by the United Nations Nigeria on the role of businesses in promoting human rights in the country, where the experts provided some insight into the extent of human rights violations within the business space. TV360's correspondent Emeka Mako was at the workshop and fastened this report from Abuja.
Respect for human rights is not just a moral obligation, but also a fundamental necessity for any business that seeks to operate in a just, inclusive, and sustainable environment. However, accounts of human rights violations in businesses are well documented, a development which has necessitated this dialogue to build awareness amongst and sensitize key stakeholders, including private sectors and key government ministries, on the role of human rights in businesses in Nigeria.
Nigeria is one of the very few countries on the continent who has adopted a national action plan on business and human rights, and we are here to discuss how we can best support the government and businesses who are intending to do business in Nigeria to make sure that in their business conduct and in their business behavior that they are responsible and that they do not commit human rights violations.
The idea ultimately is to ensure that we have a dedicated plan that will be implemented here in Nigeria under the leadership of the government to promote human rights. And as UNDP, we're here to support the conversation as part of the UN's contribution to the conversation on business and human rights, in particular with a focus on women.
Corruption has been considered a structural problem in politics, economics, and business, and for these lawmakers, the National Human Rights Act should be amended. They also believe that a timely introduction of Human Rights Tribunal, which ensures accelerated hearing, would help reduce human rights abuses to the barest minimum.
When businesses try to cut corners, those are when they violate human rights, whether they're trying to pay beyond the minimum wage, whether they're trying to desecrate the environment. So these are all issues that you can link up with corruption so that it can be a more potent force when we're presenting our case why human rights should be respected in the business space.
We would like to introduce the Human Rights Tribunal into it. That way our people will be able to have quick access to justice rather than having a slow system where there is no even justice at all. So why can't we have our own specialized court?
In April 2023, the government of Nigeria approved a National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights in relation to United Nations Guiding Principle standards in order to evaluate whether there are gaps in the UNGP's implementation within the national legal framework.
Very happy that from the ILO side, especially as we see the link between human and business rights, but also to the decent work agenda. At the core of it is the fundamental principles and rights at work. So we do have quite a number of interventions around, for example, eliminating child labor in the supply chains, focusing mainly on in the agricultural sector, but also in the small-scale artisanal mining.
Business activities can be a powerful driver of sustainable development, offering access to social and economic opportunities and a pathway to prosperity. Hence, all business enterprises are expected to avoid infringing on human rights of others and should assess an effective remedy where human rights abuses occur.